those words, they come back and say, but remember, you'll never be anything.
Yeah.
So it's important to read. It's important to have that mentorship. Somebody that, look at you from a different angle and say, look, you can do it. So you're right.
Social is giving away a voucher of up to 50% off on all products and treatments from Kiddies Hub. All you have to do is watch the show and answer a simple question towards the end. The first correct answer on our Facebook or YouTube channel stands a chance to win themselves up to 50% on all products and treatments from Kiddies Hub. T's and C's apply.
Hello and welcome to Social Life, and my name is Emmanuel Mohlala. I'm standing in for Kelebogile Sokona, and today we are talking all things business. Rodney Mojapelo, who will be discussing issues of business. Rodney, my brother, how are you?
I'm good, and you, sir. Thank you so much for inviting me to your show. I'm looking forward to this show.
No, that's great. That's great. It's nice to have you here.
Awesome.
That is one of my favorite subjects, the
Great.
issues of business and getting economy running.
Sure.
So tell us about yourself. Who is Rodney?
So I grew up in Polokwane to start with.
Okay.
That's where my roots is coming from. I hold, in terms of qualification, I hold business administration,
Okay.
a degree. I'm a married man with 3 kids, and I'm in business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, that's great. Polokwane, that's what they used to call Petersburg.
Yeah.
So I don't know which age you're coming from.
So at one point I remember the Petersburg.
Okay.
But now it's Polokwane.
Oh, all right.
So yeah. So
You
I
know
remember
that
those
you are
days.
giving up your age now.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, all right.
I know,
Okay.
I know.
Because we dinosaurs, we know Petersburg and.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Sure.
But now, in terms of background, what do you do business-wise?
So we predominantly are in early childhood development centers.
Okay.
We work with little kids. We take kids from the age of 2 years to 6 years, just before they graduate. So
Okay.
that process, we oversee that process of graduations.
Oh, all right.
And in the past, I was also in business of trucks or logistics.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
That's
I hear there's money there. So why did you leave money and
the
go for
trucking
kids?
business. So maybe the experience is the best teacher.
Okay.
Maybe let me take you back where it started. So
Yeah.
after graduating, like anybody else, I tried to get a job. And I was employed in the bank. I started as a teller, and I worked myself up until I was a relationship manager.
Okay.
So as a relationship manager, it's you are given a portfolio of businesses, and they it's business that are turning over 5 million to 20 million, and I think that's where I learned the entrepreneurship skills, because you meet different people from different background doing different businesses, and I think that prepared me to become an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So of course my first option was to become an entrepreneur, but of course as the society tells us that you need to go to school and look for a job, and especially in the corporate.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful that I went through the corporate, because there they teach you a couple of things like discipline, how you talk to clients, service, how do you respond to emails, for example. So yeah, that's so it started there. It's important that also when you start a business, you are ready.
Okay.
So when I started that business, I was not ready. So I resigned, took my money, buy a truck, and unfortunately there was a strike, and my truck was liquidated.
What was
or
it?
Was repossessed.
Was it in 2020?
It was actually in 2012.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in 2012.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So how do you end up here? How did you survive?
So my business, of course, bought a truck at the time. I think it was 1.6. So I took my pension and put some money there. And the business was doing. We had a contract with a mine at Rustenburg, so we were taking coal from Rustenburg to Alroad.
Yeah.
So there was that long strike for 3 months. So I couldn't pay my truck, couldn't pay the running cost, and everything went down.
Aye.
But lucky enough, because I had the experience of working to the bank, I knocked at the bank's door, and I went back and work again.
Oh, okay.
Until I decide that I'm ready now, I want to start my business.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But from the experience, I mean, in logistics.
Yeah.
I would think that it's a bit of a technical work, and having to plan the budgets for the trucks and making sure that everything runs smooth. You don't run a sort of cash flow before you get paid.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And from that kind of a technical aspect, I'm still wondering what moved you to early childhood development. It's just like
two different things.
Two different things.
My wife at the time she had a small crèche. I think at the time she had 5 kids.
Yeah.
And I watched her grow from that. And before I knew it, I fall in love with what she was doing.
Okay.
In fact, I remember at one stage I said to her, "But you need to go to corporate.
Yeah.
The corporate guys, they wear heels and stuff like that, and you're on your jeans all the time."
Yeah.
And she laughed at me because she liked to tell that story today. She say, "I used to tease her.
Yeah.
And now I've changed my mind."
Yeah.
And so what changed? Also, I think it's I'm a man of faith.
Yeah.
And I think as you grow with the things of God, God will guide you to say, "Look, I want you here." And my mentor always say that if you if you're at the right place,
okay,
you'll see growth, an exponential growth.
Yeah.
And where am I seeing? I'm seeing exponential growth, because I think that's where God wants me to.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's basically the story of purpose rather than
I think
the
so.
story of
I think so.
business.
I mean, working with kids as a man, it requires some level of patience.
Yeah.
And at times you need to look. I'll never replace a woman. I'm not a woman, but I think at times it requires that extra love also.
Okay. I think I can attest to that, just judging from my kids.
Yeah. It gets hectic. It gets hectic.
All right. Right. What is the early childhood development called?
The school is called Brainy Bright.
Brainy Bright.
Brainy Bright.
Ah, okay. Yeah. That's great. Now, tell me, what challenges did you guys face in starting there?
Yeah, I like that, because that's where my passion lies as well. So I'm gonna give you four points that are important that I went through, and I think people should know.
Yeah.
Or maybe people can use in their business. So one is that never ever give up.
Yeah.
It is so easy to give up than to hold on, and the ripple effect of giving up, they are much difficult than keeping on. For example, if you're studying a degree, and of course at my time when I was studying, I didn't have a full scholarship, for example.
Okay.
They could only pay for my tuition fees, but not the food and the rest and the likes.
Yeah.
So sometimes you study on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
but I keep on pressing on, and I'm grateful for that. But you can imagine if I give up then. Then it was going to be difficult because although I'm not advocating that people must go to school and look for a job, but the reality is that it's important that whatever that you start, you need to finish. So my first point is that never ever give up. It's important to keep on doing keep on keeping on. And it doesn't matter whether you are in education, whether you are in ministry like yourself. You need to keep on keeping on. Secondly, you are never too old to dream still.
Okay.
So, for example, a lot of people, when they pass certain age, then they give up. I mean, let's talk about the guy who implemented KFC.
Okay.
He started KFC at the age of 95.
Wow.
And all these years, he tried many business and he failed. Not only failed, but failed decimally. He failed in business, he failed in his relationship, he failed to raise his kids. He failed as a person. But then at the age of 95, he then implemented this in Kentucky. And today KFC, it's a
well-known brand.
So that is why I'm saying my second point is that you are never old to dream still.
Okay.
The third one is that it's important to have a mentor.
Okay.
To look up to someone else. So when you are a person, it doesn't matter whether they are not. It doesn't matter if they are not in the same industry, but it's important to look up to someone else. So you need to have a mentor for you to. In school, when you are copying, it's called cheating. But in real life, when you copy, it's called wisdom. So it's important that you look up to other people so that you can implement, especially people that, they're doing well than you are doing. So I think for me, that's very, very important. I've got a mentor myself, and I think as human, we operate well when we are governed by the law. So you must be accountable to someone else. So someone must oversee. You must set goals, and someone can, ask you and say, "How far are you?" Because it gives you, it puts you under pressure. But if you are not accountable to anything, you will write a dream, and then tomorrow you change it, another thing. So it's important that
you can have somebody that you can account to. Before probably you get to your number four. There's a very interesting thing actually when you say this, that I was having a conversation with Apostle Tungulu. It's actually online. And that Apostle Tungulu pointed out three people that you must always have in your life. And he says the first one, you must have a Timothy, somebody that you pour yourself into. So it is very important that as you grow, you empower other people. And then secondly, you must have your peer. People who will inspire you in doing things.
Absolutely.
When you start slacking, you see them succeeding, and you realize, wait a minute, this guy is building the 16th branch and I'm still on number 3. And then, dude, how do you do this? How can we move together? Your peers, and you can. And he says you must have somebody who's above you. And he says somebody that you can account to every time, and that person can speak to you. I think he said it in reverse, as you have put it. You must have a mentor. You must have somebody, your peer. But I like also what he said about the Timothy. And he says empower others. That you can have somebody that you pour into. But he says, when you have, at some point, when you slack and you're not aware, a Timothy will keep you running. Because of as he grows, he's on your neck. You can hear him running, breathing on your neck, that this guy is close. So he's kind of, pushing you to do better and better and better. I'm just adding on your point number 3 that I like what you're saying, and it reminds me of what he said in one of the interviews online.
Just to add on your saying, so as a petty man, my dad always say, so I don't know if you understand, but what he was saying is that the people that you associate with yourself. In fact, there's a saying that says that, show me a friend, I'll show you. I'll tell you who you are. So I'm not saying, but of course, Rona is, your people in the kingdom.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't only want to be seen with certain people or seen with a group of, because we welcome everyone.
Yeah.
But of course, in business, it works. You know, show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are.
Okay.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
So yeah, and mentorship is quite important. I mean,
Okay.
I don't consider myself as a successful business, but I think I'm working towards that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Different people they define success in different ways.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a property that worth 2 million and it's paid off.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a success for me.
For somebody else, it's like, yes, he's
but
successful.
For me, I'm looking more than that. So,
but probably on that, if I may ask, aren't you post shifting from time to time, that as you grow and achieve, you realize how other things are possible?
Yeah.
And you kind of like, oh yeah, this is what I wanted. Yeah. But now that I've reached this, I would want, it's possible to reach there.
Oh my word. You're speaking to my last point to say it's important to have faith.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to explain faith in my own understanding.
Okay. Yeah.
Faith for me is the ability to believe in the impossible, to see the invisible, and to trust in the unknown. Okay. That's my explanation.
Yeah.
So when you have faith, exactly what you just said. So it's amazing that when you step up to the next glory of God, then you see another glory. So you're right. As I grow, I see that other things can happen. There's possibilities of me doing other stuff. For example, I'm planning that in the next 5 years, I should build a school.
Yeah.
A proper school.
Yes.
I've identified the land, and because I've started with the ECD.
Yeah.
I totally believe that it is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're right. So when you get exposed, especially if you taste some kind of success, you then realize that no, actually, that is why, in fact, Mandela was he said it properly. He said, after climbing the mountain,
yes,
I realized that there's other
mountains to climb.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that's the journey of every entrepreneur.
Sure.
You hope for something, and the closer you get to that goal, always you see other possibilities that look, we can move and get to another aspect. So your four points. Probably let's try them again. Number 1.
Never ever give up.
Never give up.
You are never too old to dream still.
Yeah.
It's important to have a mentor. And of course, the last one is faith. So you need to have some kind of faith in whatever that you do. The problem is that if you don't have faith, then you'll chop and change.
Yeah.
And also you must believe in something as well. Look, I'm not saying I'm a born again Christian, so I'm not recruiting anyone to be born again. Yeah. But you must believe in something.
You must have an anchor that says
absolutely.
This is
I'm a praying entrepreneur. So whatever that I do, I ask God for wisdom, direction, and all those things.
Competition time. To win yourself up to 50% of all products and treatments from Giddy's Beauty Hub, answer this simple question. What are the 4 points that were presented by Mr. Mojapelo on this show? 4 points of business success presented by Mr. Mojapelo on today's show. Good luck. If you have unbelief, or if you do not have faith, then unbelief will be your lifestyle. Meaning, it doesn't matter how much I believe that you can be a multimillionaire. If you don't have the belief that you can be that, then your life will be based on unbelief. That means the opposite will always follow you. And I am saying this because I also believe that there are people with ideas people with powers to change things, people who can change the way that we do things, who can change the landscape of economy.
Absolutely.
You know, but those people are just sitting there. These things come to them, but they don't believe them. And unfortunately, their lives will always be at the bottom. Not because of they are born for that, but because of they never believed what came to them when it came to them. And their life of unbelief gets to be the portion that they have.
Right. In fact, you remind me of this thing that says that the great mind are in the grave.
Yes.
Because they didn't use it.
Yeah.
So it was that belief. The person look at themselves and say, no, I cannot do it. But quite often, it came about how you are being raised as well.
True.
So for example, affirmation. You know what I do with my kids is that I give them an affirmation. Make sure that I boost their. For example, if my son come and show me Makoporoch.
Yeah.
I grace him with, I say, this is powerful. Who showed you? So he has, confidence from there.
Yes.
But many a times when we grow up, we're told that you are nothing, you will never amount to anything, you're stupid and all those things.
Yeah.
And that, over time, when you hear them, especially when you hear them from the people that you trust and love,
yes,
it sink in you.
Yeah,
and
it gets engraved.
Yeah, whenever you counter, challenges or you want to do something in life, then those words, they come back and say, but remember, you'll never be anything.
Yeah.
So it's important to read. It's important to have that mentorship. Somebody that, look at you from a different angle and say, look, you can do it. So you're right.
No, that's true. I mean, I am a living testimony of that.
Yeah.
I struggled a lot with self-confidence.
Yeah.
And
myself as well.
Simply because when I grow up, it's a funny story.
Yeah.
Probably I should be more comfortable that I'm saying this in the absence of my mom. And my mom is late.
Yeah.
But things that we say to kids and we never really, pick them up. My mother, I mean, kids are kids. And my mother would say something like, hey, how man? There's something wrong with you. And he says, when your younger brother gets wise.
Yeah.
But this dude is 8 years younger than me.
Oh my word.
And you look at it and like, so every time you get to a certain point in life and you need to express yourself, there's something that says, hey, watch it.
Yeah.
Pelawena, you are not really smart. Let the smart people speak because of you are not there. And yes, probably that is the biggest killer of businesses. Yeah. And I'm saying this probably from a black point of view to say there are many of our brothers who can change the world, but because of the background and the things that they struggle with, probably that's why they can't really come to a point of because of they've been told for a very long time how they cannot do things. And I think it goes back to the question of your faith, that you just have to believe. Yeah. Because if you don't have something to look at you and say, one day I want to fly an airplane. Yeah, absolutely. You might just end up riding a bicycle and not even own a car.
Absolutely. And I think that speaks to also, people who, how on earth a person go and kill and rape a 3-year-old child? That person was broken inside long time ago. Yeah. And you might find that it's the same thing. He was told that he's nothing and everything. And
he cannot be loved.
He's carrying, he grew up carrying that, you know what? Even if I can rape and everything, they will kill me. It's fine.
It's fine because I'm worth nothing anyway.
Absolutely. So it's important. I always say, you rather unshapeka face than give. Say something it's hurtful using words, because words, they sit. And when you go back and ponder about them, they will destroy you. So that is why I'll never. And I speak life in my life as well, as an entrepreneur as well. Very, very important. So I speak to my situation. When I get home, I pray about it. I speak to that situation, and that's
good.
So it's never ever give up.
You are never too old. I love that one.
To dream still, it's important to have a mentorship.
Yes.
And the fourth one, it's important to have a faith. I mean, the Bible says if you have a faith like a small seed,
yes,
it will move mountains. So
for sure,
faith is powerful.
It's a very powerful thing.
It's powerful.
It changes everything. It makes like a difference of direction.
Absolutely.
Just by believing.
Yeah. In fact, I want to say this. I remember when I was growing up, because I was told the same thing as you said, by my dad.
Yeah.
And he used to tell me that, hey, I don't think you will become something. I remember one day when I was writing my matric.
Yeah.
And I said, I went to my room. I started to pray and I said, God, can you please give me wisdom? I don't want anything. I just want to prove these people wrong.
Yeah.
And I passed my matric very well. And whenever if I get challenged, I always remember that day that if God did it then,
He can do it now.
Again.
For sure.
Yeah.
If God can do it then,
He will do it again.
He can do it again.
Absolutely.
As we close, I think I would like to comment on number 2.
Yeah.
It's been hitting me. I read a story of an old man.
Yeah.
Who worked very well.
Yeah.
I think as an engineer or something.
Sure.
He worked until his 60s. He stayed in the companies, passed his pension, 65. And the man decided when he resigned to go to university and did accounting. And he did whatever level that he did. And then he started doing books for his friends' companies till he died. I read the story and was like, who goes to school after 60? I mean, you're 65.
Yeah.
And he starts from scratch, doing like, I'm going to enroll, I'm going to do accounting, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do my 3-4 years, and I'm going to do books for my friends. That's how I'm going to survive.
Amazing.
And for us, at the age of 40, we are starting to give up.
Yeah.
And say life never works out. It doesn't work out for me. And but that's just one of those things.
Yeah.
So you are never too old.
You're never too old.
So we should just attend what is called this challenge the oldies.
You are never too old to dream still.
Yeah.
And of course, it speaks to all aspects of life. Like for example, you have people who are divorced.
Yeah.
Divorce. It's something that can destroy you.
Can mess you up big time.
Yeah, big time. So even then, you can recover from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's even if you can forget everything that he said, just remember it's never too late.
Yeah.
58, 60, we can start again. You can still buy that house, the 2 million rents house. I'm Emmanuel Mohlala and I'm standing in for Kilemkile Sokona, and this is Social Life. Thank you, my brother, for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Awesome.
Thank you.